Hariom children, today I will show you an experiment based on refraction. You know that refraction, what is refraction? When a ray of light travels from one transparent optical medium to another optically transparent medium. So refraction occurs. So now, today I will show you how refraction occurs through a rectangular glass. So let's see how I am doing. So in this experiment, what are the apparatus required? You see, this is the drawing board and this is a white sheet of paper, clear, and this is the rectangular glass slab which is required through which the light ray will pass. Now, and these are the pins, paper pins, and these are the board pins to fix this white sheet of paper. Clear? So first I will fix this white sheet of paper here on this drawing board. At the four corners I am putting the board pins. Tightly we have to fix it. Now, after that, we have to draw the outline of this glass slab. Nearly at the center of this white sheet of paper, we have to keep this glass slab. So, now first I am drawing the outline of this glass slab. After drawing, I'll take back the glass slab. Now what we'll do? Now I am drawing one incident ray. Incident ray. Before drawing the incident ray, first I will draw the normal. Normal means the perpendicular at the point of incidence. So how to draw the normal? Normal means 90 degree. So without protractor also you can draw. In this meter scale, there is the divisions are given, calibrated here. So with any division, we have to coincide with this outline of this glass slab. So we will get 90 degree. Any division, just you coincide it. Just at the middle of the outline of this glass slab, you have to draw the perpendicular or normal. Clear? Now I will draw an incident ray. Incident ray, ray of light coming from, this is the glass slab. If I will put here, outside this air, so from one medium to another medium it is coming, from air to glass. So in the first medium where the ray of light is coming, at the point of incidence, that one line I will draw, that is the incident ray. This is the point of incidence. Got? Now on this point of incidence, we have to put two pins here. Vertically we have to put two pins, and between the two pins we have to keep a distance of minimum 4 cm. Between the two pins we have to keep the distance of minimum 4 cm. Suppose one pin I have kept here, inserted, and here another pin. Minimum, averagely you have to take, more than that you can take, but you have to insert two pins on this incident ray. Vertically we have to keep. Again we will back the glass slab on its original position where the outline we have drawn. On that we have to put. Now these two pins we have inserted here on the incident ray. Now we have to put another two pins by looking in the glass slab. not over the glass slab or that side or this side, not outside. Through the glass slab we have to see, so that the images of these two pins we have to see here where the images will form of these two pins. In that straight line we have to put another two pins. That means the images of these two pins must be in a straight line with these two pins. All the four pins must be one-sided. So through the glass slab we have to see, not above, not here this side or from this side. Through the glass slab we have to see. So now I am seeing minutely. You have to adjust. In one eye you have to see, so that concentration will be more. Now in this point I have put the pins, where the three pins now in a straight line looking. Another pin I am putting, keep some distance. This part is important in this experiment, how to put the pins. So in a straight line all the four pins are now, all the four pins one sided. If I will see through the glass slab, now all the four pins look like one pin, because all the four pins are in a straight line one siding with each. We have kept. Now where I have inserted these two pins, now I mark with the pen, and we have to draw the line. We have to join the line. Here I have marked. Here I have to mark. Now I have to join. Now I will take out the glass slab, join it, these two points, the scale you join. Joined. Now this is the incident ray. When you know that when the refraction occurs, outside here is air and this glass slab is there, means it's glass here. When a ray of light travels from air means rarer medium and glass is denser medium. When a ray of light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, what will happen? The ray of light bend towards the normal. Normal is here. Actual direction of the incident ray after refraction will be in this direction, but it will bend little where towards the normal. This is the normal. Towards the normal it will bend. You see it is bending or not? See here, actual path in this direction, but it bends towards the normal. Again, after that, it is again refraction occurs from glass to air. So when glass is here denser medium and here air is rarer medium, so when the light ray travels from denser medium to rarer medium, what will happen? It will bend away from the normal. So here I am drawing the normal. Like this here, we have to draw the normal. Just here the meter scale, any division it coincide with this outline of this slab and draw the normal. Normal drawn, you see it is bends away from the normal or not? The direction is in this direction coming, but it is bends away from the normal. So understood? So you name it now. Suppose this is the glass slab outline, you draw it. Suppose this is A, this is B, then this is C, this is D. ABCD is the glass slab, and here suppose here M, here this one N, M, and this one N. Mn is the incident ray, and after refraction it will come here. Give the name, suppose O. Again from glass to air, again it will refraction occurs. So suppose you give the name here P. So here Mn is the incident ray. Mn is the incident ray. And here NO is the refracted ray. Then OP is the emergent ray. For your understanding, I am writing here so that you can see nicely. Mn is the incident ray, NO is the refracted ray, OP is the emergent ray. And you know the angle formed between the normal and the incident ray is called angle of incidence. Suppose you give the name angle of incidence I. So angle I is called angle of incidence. Angle I is the called angle of incidence, and this angle after refraction, this is the refracted ray. So the angle formed between the normal and the refracted ray is called the angle of refraction. Name it, suppose small r. So small r is equal to angle of refraction. Clear? So the angle forming between the emergent ray and the normal is called, this angle is called the angle of emergent. Suppose E. So angle E is angle of emergent. Clear? So you got, this is the incident ray, this is the refracted ray, this one is the emergent ray, and this is the normal, and this point is called the point of incidence. This is also point of incidence, and this angle formed is called angle of incidence, this angle formed is called angle of refraction, and this angle formed is called angle of emergent. Now we will see that what conclusion we are getting from this experiment. Something so we will get conclude, we will come to the conclusion like this. So will incident ray, refracted ray, emergent ray, I will say it will be not sufficient. So the conclusion we are getting, this angle of incidence must be equal to angle of emergent. So that we have to see it is coming equal or not. See here, I am measuring here. See, now it is coming between 41 and 42. You can see between 41 and 42. So we can say, we can take 41 and between 41 and 42. So we can take this one as 41 and 42 degree we can take. So this is 41 degree you take. So this angle of incidence you got 41 degree. Now this angle you measure. How much this one? Adjust it. Here you see it is coming 41. Clear? So angle of emergent also coming 41. Here angle of incidence also coming 41. So you got the conclusion here. Angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergent. It got 41 degree. Understood? From this refraction through a glass slab, we come to the conclusion that angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergent. One you got. Another things here, if I'll extend this incident ray, where it is coming you see, if I'll extend the incident ray, so what we will see, observe here, this incident ray is parallel to the emergent ray or not. After displacing, here after refraction it is deviated, so displace the refracted ray. Again after refraction, the incident ray and emergent ray both are coming parallel or not. You can see, measure the distance, the perpendicular distance between them you measure. Here it is coming 2.6, sorry, here it is coming 2.1. here also you see it is coming 2.1. so everywhere the distance is same, means between two lines means both the lines are parallel, perpendicular distance. So now this distance, perpendicular distance between the two lines, incident ray and emergent ray, is called lateral displacement. Suppose you give the name this one as xy. So xy is called the lateral displacement. Clear? xy is called the lateral displacement. These points are very important. A question will come in the exam to draw a ray diagram to show the refraction of light through a rectangular glass slab. So you have to draw like this. There the instrument not there to do, but you have to draw like this on your own, and you have to show. Question will come to show the incident ray, refracted ray, emergent ray, the angle of incidence, angle of refraction, angle of emergent, lateral displacement, and what the conclusion we are getting from this experiment. We are getting two conclusion. One is angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergent, and the incident ray and emergent ray are both parallel to each other. These two conclusions we are getting. And another important thing, last one, when you are drawing the ray diagram, you have to show the arrow mark in which direction the light ray is coming. Clear? Understood? So in this direction light ray is coming from air to glass, then from glass to air, so rarer to denser, then again from denser to rarer medium. Understood? Okay, thank you.